Is day 1179 Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Like sponsor Kamishia more Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. It's not me directly, very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing your idea, Simon Kuf Yud Ches, Sif Hey through Yud Beis. Hey, the Chor Mash Miloshin says we're trying to explain the Ramah about Chasimis, Chosamos. The Chor Miloshin says Mash the B'Shlech Haber Tartiboy. It seems that when you sending something which needs Chosemes to your friend requires two. L'odiel Haber requires two activities. So to notify a friend, they should recognize the seal. And also tell the non-Jew that you told your friend. You're going to say, why is it to tell the non-Jew? It's enough to tell the friend. If you recognize the seal, good. And if it doesn't, so what good does it do that you told the non-Jew? Here's what the Yes, that certainly could be the issue. But for the advantage of the issue, so that the non-Jew will not touch in order to ruin, tamper with the seal. So it's and do whatever he wants. So we warn him. Well, that's the case, and the non-Jew is not going to touch it since you warned him. So why do you have to tell your friend? Sometimes the seal gets ruined on its own. Could be that way. As we shall see. So therefore, it's not sufficient to rely on the non-Jews being afraid. Because you could say that, well, the seal got ruined on its own. So the primary heter is that you recognize the seal, like where you give an eye for safekeeping. But for this reason, it's also better to tell him, to tell the non-Jew that you told a friend. Because then most times the friend will be able to recognize the seal. Even if there's a remote chance it'll be ruined. If he can understand on it based on his perception that it got ruined on its own, now we had to time in the mirror, so we can still be matir. We have a backup heter, which is that mirsas. He's afraid. I've no ikra heter time mirsas einach, but we don't. It's a backup heter. We don't build the primary heter based on mirsas, and the very fact that he's afraid. Because since he has the capacity to say got ruined on its own, lo mirsas kol kach. He's not that afraid. This is their language is precise. If you tell his friend and also said, then the primary heter is letting the friend know because and they should recognize the seal. Besides that, you also must tell the non-Jew. Then explain this way. Because of the he said, if you tell the non-Jew that you told the friend, die, it's enough. And you don't tell the friend at all. Time the mirsas because you established the mirsas. Pirshu the frame command. They explain the Shulchan Aruch as follows. Lo sagi. If you tell your friend, it's not enough. Until you tell the non-Jew. But that in and of itself is sufficient. I told the non-Jew, you don't have to actually tell a friend. Only if you tell the friend, you also have to tell the non-Jew. But this is very difficult. Okay, in that case, the rock het is over. They could have just been this het to tell the non-Jew. Okay, because the body circle, come chaver over nachasim. So for the achronim, evidently past the shachar michodesh, say you certainly have to tell your friend how that the manner of the seal. It's also difficult. It sounds that the primary heter is actually the recognizing the seal. He mailed the mirsas, and then as a result, he's going to mirsas. So the primary heter is not the mirsas. Primary heter is the koros achoisam. I'm sorry. Mailed the gam b'shlech chaver ikar heter udam zeh, and therefore follows that when you send your friend, this is also primary reason for heter, and it's unclear what's going on here. The bracket says here, "Matzos b'ritva shem found the ritva before shkosh kosavnu." Explicitly, like Arukh wrote, it's also good to tell the non-Jew. Even though it's not an impediment. Not like the other Rishonim. Not like the other Achronim. That which the Shachar B'Chodesh brought a riot from the two in the Shulchan Aruch who wrote, Came since it's sealed properly, with two seals, Davar Shetzarech Shnaim, two wheels seals were required to. One seal when one is enough. So you don't have to go back to see it. Timihani, I'm astonished. Sharei Makordin Zelba around me a Rashba. The source of this is the Rashba or surprise. Rashba and the Cloud and Mafki, the Rash doesn't distinguish at all between keeping an object, the item for safekeeping, or giving to non-Jews an agent. Plus the Chiluk Zek, much Kusav Marish Sivdal. He doesn't know this distinction. Like we said, it's Sivdal. Avodas, the Tesarosh Ikar, Terminay Zeh. According to the Tes and the Rosh, the primary heter is on this account. Kmosh Kosavnu. I don't know what account we're talking about. The Ikar heter, I guess, you go back and you check it out. According to the Ikar is because you check it out. So why I say answer Chazor V'Grosso. Taylor Shkosh Kenu, you should know this is the case. Because Shnei Chosamas Davar Shetzarech Shnaim, because he wrote two seals where he required two. Taisa Rosh Ein Lecha Davar Shetzarech Shnei Chosamas. According to us, Rosh, there's nothing which requires two seals. Only by Mamafkid, not just where you give a safekeeping of people Shlech Dai B'Chaisam Echok Shiel Dienu. It's enough with one seal when you let him know. K'moshe Yisbarach. Father said Rakadas Rama Rash, but had to Mishun Shnei Chosamas Lo Torch Mazayif. So this this is you don't have to go back and see it. It's only according to the Rambam and Rashba that there's because in two chosamas he's not going to go bother to go and break it open and reseal it. And in the Rabbanans, Nandora says we say that also in one seal he's not going to bother and go and forge it. So then therefore you don't have to see the seal. That's a rush, and that's also true according to Rosh when you do have two seals. Does have a time at there? Because the reason behind it is because he's not going to go to the bother of forging. Also by the Rabbanon when one seal. But if it's one seal in a doraisa, and the way that is because you recognize the seal and not because he's not going to be toreach. How can you be matter without recognizing the seal? When we assume that at time of the mirsas, the primary reason for that is because they rely primarily on mirsas, not on hakoche. And here's like the kind of los sagi times a little bit. But already said before, and he says again, it's not so mirsas. You hold to the match and that's only scalca because they got ruined on its own. There is not a happy year with halacha which comes out leniently. Because we already said the ritual holds like we said, that was in brackets the end of Siv Vav, and if that's the case, the primary heter is the being modia to the recipient that he should look for the chaysim. Those who say by Yisrael who's suspect, and you do chasamas in the deraisa. But by a non-Jew, one seal is always enough. In this case, this respect, the Yisrael who's suspect is worse off. Because he holds himself right. Let me test not go afraid at all. So therefore, need two seals. Because they don't think it's going to go ahead and go to the bother of forging. Some ideas do the akum heter so here's you ever say the heter by a non-Jew with one seal is because he's afraid. Even though you didn't tell him that you told a friend how it was sealed, so at least a little bit afraid. And a suspect is called suspicious when he's suspect to switch. I know it's Yisrael choshu. It's only choshu when he's choshu to switch. If it is only suspect of eating forbidden things, ain't circle. We don't need to require anything that choshu lechol and choshu lachli. The fact that he's suspected of eating doesn't make him suspected of switching, which is by the same kufiyot test. Namlav klalu, but it's not a blanket principle. These Barsham Sashmal we explained there. Cholishem looking blue there zulikar. Cholishem reject this opinion. Skin with us. The Taisa should receive dal chalib and mafki l'sholech. distinguish between somebody who gives it as a safekeeping and somebody who gives it as a messenger. Nevertheless, he brought this opinion in Sif Aleph because he had a smocha deyazu kind of shoma. Klomar v'lo lechatchila, not lechatchila. Shova poskim lo hiskim ledeyazu, because most poskim don't say that the heter is on account of mirsas. Mirsa is just a fallback. Said before. Test. Zelshon Rabbeinu Abbas Yosef B'Siv Al Yain B'Siv writes Yain Ubasa Chatichas Dag, wine and meat and a piece of fish. Able Simon doesn't have a Simon Shif Kid O Shlach Biar Akum. If you gave a safekeeping or sent it in the hands of Najut Tzorach Shnei Chosam, it requires 2 seals. A yain mevushal but cooked wine with shechor or beer, or yain shubod v'ay machem or wine which is mixed with other components. Kon vash, which is honey, v'chein chometz, so to vinegar, which of course is wine vinegar. The cholav and milk, umurios and fish brine, upas and bread, ugvina and cheese. Choshi isumi direi soifrim, anything which is also the rabbanon. Shivki biarakum, which you gave to a non-Jew, mutter v'chaysim echad, it's mutter with 1 seal. Hishmin ashab b'dvarim shetzrichim shnei chol samos lomer v'shleich haydeakum. And those who say that even though those things require 2 seals, it's only when you sent it somewhere by the non-Jew. Shein seal is a chaysim. You're not going to get it back and see the seal itself. Of a mafki, but if you gave a safekeeping, I bet you're going to see the seal yourself. It's enough to have 1 seal because the akum is afraid. And also, if you're sending it, if you told your friend, so it's a chaysam and what the seal looks like. And you also told the non-Jew that you told your friend 1 seal is enough. For Rabbeinu de Rishon das Rambam Rashba v'Gedamas who Shalmi maskim lazeh. Anytime it's not smoke kosh kasab Siv Gimel. You explained already that the first reason of Yisurim Midivrei Soifrim, the Fkido is mutter tam echad. He said in Siv Gimel. Oh, he said it's the reason. He said he brought down from the Siv Gimel that some Yishayim say that Chavis is Isur Migufo and Champag is Isur Dei Taroivis. He's saying. Here I don't seem to speak about that. Oh, it does, yeah. Yeah, that's Mudu Kesem Echad. And that he explained, it's the Gimel. It's not the reason, but the difference between the rights of the Rabbanan. But that's not a reason unto itself, because it's really based on the rights of the Rabbanan, which is the primary distinction. Barka Kosav Das and Taisa Rosh the Shosi Liros or Chesam Dai Begam the rights of Dai Begam. In the state also will plead a cloud, okay, it's no machlek. Because Gam Devi Shem Mordechai Gav and Tzerchel Chesam Echad, where he's going to see his Chesam later on. The Achonim Moed they showing the Be'en Osi Liros Chosamo, and the latter opinion concedes the first opinion that where you're not going to see your Chosam, so it'll be the rights of Shnei Chosamos. But the rights need 2 seals, Baruch Chesam Echad. And the Rabbanan need 1 seal. It's not that there's a machlekes here. When it's interesting, he says when the Gemara and the Rambam don't mention anything, but the poskim is a chadish. That's when he says use the language of Yeshurun. even though there's no machlokas. So it says, Yeshrim, Shad Vam Shitun L'Shei Chosamas Lomer Shalech Aide Akum, Sheinu Asi L'Rosa Choisem, Hamafki, Dai B'Choisem Echad, and Imer Shalech Chavero, Imodia Chavero Tzusa Choisem, Namar Akum Shalech Chavero, Dai B'Choisem Echad, all that is universally agreed. It's not a one of two opinions. You have Rabbeinu Makos Zebiyeshmin Lo Ben Eshtei Chosamos. Some people don't need two seals rock. We saw a choshen, as we saw before. Avabakum Makos Shalei Chosom Echad. By non-Jew, everything is mutter with one seal. But the evidence is Smokas Akan L'Shona. The evidence we can rely on this. Minei Desu Barech Lukas Adeskom. Certainly argues in the previous minutes. Rabbeinu Lo Skimula. Many people do not agree with it. Come before Baruch from Mordechai. Because I've struck with the evidence. Therefore, it says only. If you're in a bind, you can rely on this. But in the previous meetings, you can rely even on Chatchila. In other words, if it's Pikadon, he's going to see it, or he was Modia, that's okay. By the end of that thing, let's see, pay the next going to be says Sholech Ikareta Bodia Chaver. The primary head is letting the friend know what it looks like. If you're Malakum Adav Obama, telling non-Jew is to make icing on the cake. There should be also a bit of mirsas. Shenko Savaritva. Rita says, well, I'm about ain't it there. Just telling the non-Jew by itself is not good enough. And as we said also, the Achronim don't seem to hold that way. You said that have a heter. They hold that just by telling him, the non-Jew, it's enough. Much have a Sivav, Ein Shalom, like we said in Sivav. Durav. We see base, Kosa Rabbeinu, besides Kim, Shechtima Karoi, Shnei Chosamos. There's only say Shnaim, the Seitzah writes that since once you seal it properly, two Chosamos, things right, two Chosamos, Echad, Vam Shadai Be'echad, one Chosom, things do require. Ein Chosom, Ein Tzal Zoach Rav La'aroso. You don't have to check it out afterwards. But if you did check it out, you recognize it, also, if you know it's Chosamos, also, it's two seals, Akal Shono. The Tafkim Roim Sheni Star B'Kamah De'odim. So if you can see that it was literally opened by a person. Makum Shalcholim is Loshin Skag Matzah, a place where we can assume it got ruined on its own. A day behemoth happened through an animal. A day Tinuk Shalcholim by a child without intent. Mutab it's okay after the fact. Moshe's Barb Sim Kuflamet, we shall see a lot later. The Chaim Yisrael Yotze B'Nichnas, also the Jews coming in and going out and coming in. Lo Chashin Am Niskal Kavara, we're not concerned, even if it was deliberately tampered with. The Mirsa Sachli, if he's afraid to switch. Like we know it over there. In terms of wine, he's afraid to touch. Koshkin is certainly afraid to switch. Fabian receives Zain. Latino ain't a rock within Hader Rishoina. It's only according to halacha the first spinning klomar, meaning she'ena had the minay shachar yira choisam. But that is not based on the fact you're going to see the seal afterwards. Minay ikra din. I mean, because of the primary halacha, the 18 which has two seals, lo tarachum zayif. It's not going to go to trouble of forging. Hilkach answer the Zohar Chalav. That's it. He'll go back and check it out. But in according to Yeshua, which holds that the primary heta by Chosam Echad is because you're going to go back and see it. So we have to go back and see the Chosam. That's really according Gam Misham Eitzar. According to great Achronim, however, that the whole heta is because of Mirsas. You don't need it there. And Barak says, "Tafsel is Rosh Rabbeinu Beisaysev Mashma Dashnei Deus Kai." They say going both opinions. Vani Omer Devad Kain Hu. See, it's true that Yeshua ain't a chokim klal. Yeshua doesn't argue. So I'm going to see tests. Well, I guess depends what you're not arguing on. You're not arguing on the Chayim's pshat. You're not arguing on the Arukh HaShulchan's pshat. Arukh HaShulchan is throwing a big monkey wrench in the whole works here. Okay, if you're based or Rabbeinu Makos about Dinzeh, or might write seem low ikir chosamos. If you don't chasimos, you don't recognize the seals. Also, it's forbidden. It's elishona. Midavke mudav sheish lachu shechlifu v'neh bechalifin. There's only a case where there's a concern that he switched it and could derive benefit from the chalifin. Switching. Oh, yain, or it's wine, and we're afraid that he might touch it. If you see that the thing you sent is as good as when he sent it, and non-Jew is not going to benefit by switching it. Not concerned even if the seal's ruined, not kind of showing meaning option, it seems deliberate by a human being, but it's still okay. The time partial is simple. The Quran is so explain we don't assume the non-Jew is out to get the Jew. because soon he was out to get him. Do we know that then saying that, well, this is just as good as whatever he sent? Maybe just switch it for a treif, which is just as good. But just lahachis. But since we're not concerned he's going to do that, occasionally no unless he has going to derive benefit, such as to switch from an inferior type. Since there's not inferior, ain't time less, there's no reason to ask. If Talinish says kilka bekavana, and we assume that the reason he broke the seal was deliberately because his desire, his curiosity, see what was there. Only the accessory to take a little bit of it. Which of course would be a problem by wine, but not by anything else. But there's no concern for switching. The Pasha Shima Kirin Betvilus Einshin, so Nishlach, it's obvious that if you recognize this is which was sent, it's no matter what. If you can recognize some of the pieces you can't recognize. Could be that the ones you don't recognize were switched. And these are there are better ones now, the worst ones. These are worse ones of sent. Asura saw some chain close lakir. And the ones you can't recognize are forbidden. The ones you recognize are permitted. It's a bit out of left field, but if you seal it properly, then it's mutter chatchila to send through a non-Jew.